Okay, welcome back to the channel. We've been building this isometric room over a series of videos, and um, it's looking pretty good. You know, we've built the room, the walls, put in a window, some blinds, some shelves, a bed, nightstand, lamp, a desk, and a computer. So now today we're going to build a chair for this desk. So um, here we go. So back into modeling mode. So we're going to add a cube. And G to grab, Z axis, and N on my keyboard to bring out this menu, this item menu. And I've kind of already worked out some of the dimensions. So, just for housekeeping here, scene, I'm in units, I'm in imperial, and my length is inches. So I'm going to be using some dimensions here, so that's kind of important. So we're going to start with the back of the chair. So I'm going to make this, I'll leave it 24 inches tall, about 4 inches thick, and maybe 18 inches wide, something like that. So G to grab, Y axis. You know, whenever you're moving stuff around in Blender, you should always G to grab and then move it on an axis, because if you just move it, you're never going to have it where you need it, and you're probably going to end up where you don't want your object. So always move it along an axis. It keeps life simpler. So G to grab Z, G to grab Y. So okay, now I'm going to do a Shift D to duplicate. And now I see my, over here, I'm going to do some housekeeping. I'm going to add a new collection. I'm going to call it chair. Now my two objects we created are kind of buried in one of these collections, and I'm thinking it's these two right here. You drag them down to the chair collection. So I'm going to click on the second cube, auto rotate x-axis 90 degrees. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply all transformations because I scaled it and I also rotated it. So I'm thinking I'm going to make this is the seat, and it's going to be maybe square. So 18 inches square. That looks pretty good. So G to grab, and I'm going to hit on the B, and it's going to invoke the snapping, and it's going to look for a vertex. So you click, and then you drag it, and then you click again to accept that. So I'm kind of just going for proportions here. Does this make sense? So G to grab Y, G to grab X, kind of centered on this desk. G to grab X. So I think that looks good proportionally. I think that chair fits at this desk. So with these two things selected, I hit my / key to hide everything, and I'm just left with these. So my scale's off here. So on the backrest, I'm going to do a Control A, apply scale. And I'm going to do a Control A, apply scale on this. So we're going to add a couple modifiers here. So over here to the wrench, add modifier. We're going to add generate, a subdivision surface modifier, and maybe add 3 segments to that. And then we'll do the same to the seat. And that looks good. Now I won't apply these just yet because I want to do some more shaping. So I'm going to tab into edit mode. It doesn't matter if your faces or edges here. I'm going to do a Command R. I'm going to roll my mouse wheel forward 1, 2 times. So I want 3 edge loops. Click once, and now I have the option to move these around, which I don't want to. Click a second time to accept it. So now I'm going to click on this top one, and holding my Option key, it'll select the continuous edge with the Option key down, and I hold Shift and Option again, and select this bottom one. So I'm not selecting the center one. So I'm going to do G to grab on the y-axis, and I'm going to move this forward like this. So this is going to be like the headrest and the arch support. of the backrest. So that looks good. So back into object mode, we're going to select the seat, tab into edit mode, Command R, roll my mouse wheel forward once because I just want 2 edge loops for this. Click to accept that. I'm not going to move them this way, so click to accept that. Then I'm going to S to scale on the X axis. I'm going to move these out to the edges like that. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking for there. So tab into object mode. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply these 2 modifiers. And now that I look at this seat, I think it's a little big. It's a little thick too. So I'm going to change the dimensions here a little bit. So I'm going to go 17, and I'll just take that down to 16. And I might take this down to like 3. You see how it moved there? So I'm going to undo that. That's moving because if you go to Object, Set Origin Geometry, that kind of solves that. So that seat's still kind of big. I might make it 16 here as well. Okay, I like that. That looks good. So I'm going to do G to grab on the y-axis, move that ahead a little bit. And I'm going to do G to grab z-axis, move this down. And I also want to rotate this backrest a little bit. That does not look comfortable at all. So R to rotate, x-axis, R to rotate x. And just want to put just a little bit of a chair that I would sit in. That looks comfortable. Okay, so actually I can go ahead and apply the scale to this. If you don't apply scales and you do an operation to an object and you haven't applied the scale, Blender is using the previous proportions to do whatever operations you're doing in edit mode or adding a modifier. So it's always important to apply the scale. So we're going to add another cube. Add a cube. And I've got some dimensions figured out for this, and you don't know what it's for yet, but you'll see. So 4 by 4 by 2, actually 4, and I make this 2. There, that looks pretty good. So I want to move this. This is going to be sort of the pivot point for the back of the chair. So G to grab Z, G to grab Y. We just want to get this thing close. So now I'm going to go into front view, which in the case of this chair is actually the back view. So G to grab X. I kind of want to center it. It needs to be somewhat centered, but it's not like, it doesn't have to be exactly precise. So that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the scale to this. And I'm going to tab into edit mode into faces. And I'm going to E to extrude on the y-axis. And I'm going to move me out of the way here. There's a little menu that pops up here when you do that. Extrude in edit mode. And I'm going to type in a dimension. So 0.6. I've already worked this out. So, object mode, G to grab one. Oh, don't know what happened there. So G to grab Y. I just want to move that in a bit more. So you're going to see what that little extra extrusion was in a minute. But so I'm going to duplicate this thing I just created. So Shift D, R to rotate x-axis 90 degrees. And I'm going to do G to grab Z. And then I'm going to go to the bottom view. G to grab Y. I kind of want to put it in the center of the seat. Something like that. Okay, this is looking good. And then do G to grab Z, just move it up a bit. Okay, so go into face mode. And we're going to select this back face. And we're going to get into a side view. E to extrude Y. And we're going to bring it out to about there. Tab into object mode, select this this face, go back into that same left view, E to extrude Z, and just going to get it close like that. And then I'm going to do the G, B, and it's going to snap on a corner vertice like that. So I'll actually do that again, but I'll zoom in. So I'm doing G to grab and then hitting B, and it's asking me basically what vertex do you want to snap with. So I want to snap with this one. And then now it's saying where do you want to snap to? It's searching for a vertex. So you just move your mouse till you get to the vertex you want. You click to accept it. So now this is like the frame of the chair. So into object mode, I'm going to hold down shift and select both pieces, do a command J to join those together. Okay, this is coming together. So now we are going to work on armrests. So tab into face edit mode, and I select this face here and this face here, and I'm going to go into top view, and I'm going to hit option E, brings up this menu, extrude along normal, and then you move your mouse forward like that until they're just peeking through. Now I'm going to click to accept that, and then I'm going to do option E to extrude again along normals, and I want to do a 0.6. Okay, now I've just noticed the frame is not centered on the chair, so I'm going to actually fix that. So selecting this frame, G to grab, X, just going to move it over a little bit, something like that. Go back into face mode. That looks good. So now I'm going to select this face and this face, and I'm going to go into the back view, which is actually the front of the chair. E to extrude, Z axis, and go up something like that. Looks good. So now with these two faces selected, I'm going to do a Shift D, enter, and then hit P because I want to create separate, I want them to be separate pieces. So separate by selection. And you can see over here it created another part. So tab into object mode, and we're going to select these two faces. Tab into edit mode and faces, select these. E to extrude, Z axis, and we're going to make these 1 inch. Just like that. Now we're going to select these faces. So this is the armrests. So we're going to select all the faces. Something like this. And we're going to do option E, extrude along normals. That didn't work. So option E, extrude along normals. And I'm thinking that looks pretty good. Okay. So now I'm going to tab into edge mode. I'm going to select this edge, hold down option key, it'll select continuous edges, shift option to do this one, and then command B to bevel this. Okay, and I'm going to roll my mouse wheel forward 1, 2, 3 times, something like that. And that looks good. So back into object mode. Now I'm going to scale these on the y-axis. That looks good. So now we'll right click and shade smooth. Do that with the backrest and the seat. That looks good. So now we just have to work on what's going to hold this chair up. So we're going to add a cylinder. And we are going to make, I've worked these dimensions out somewhat. So make this 2.5 by 2.5 by, I don't know, 16. Now I'm going to use an add-on I have. It's called Quick Snap, and I did a whole video on it. So if you check my channel, you'll see the video, but I'll just give you a little brief example of how valuable this is. So I want to snap this to the center of this, and Quick Snap makes this very quick. So I've created a shortcut to invoke Quick Snap. It's Shift Q. And this is the menu that you get with it. And you can snap from vertice to vertice, from edge to edge, from face center to face center, object corner. So it gives you options. I've got it set to snap from face center to face center at the moment, although I change this all the time. So what I'm gonna show you how this works. So Shift Q, Shift Q, and actually I'll just rotate that a bit so you can see what's going on. So Shift Q, and it's selecting the center of that face. So, and I want to put it here. So I'm going to do a Shift Q, and then you just move it, and it's going to find the center of the face, just like that. It's a free add-on. Everyone should. There's no reason to not have this. So I'm just going to bring back my scene and see how the dimensions of this chair are working out. That pole looks a little tall. Yeah, that's going to be a bit tall. So I'm going to make this maybe, I don't know, 12. Okay, so we're going to select all these pieces again, / to hide everything. And we will do our quick snap again. See that? It kind of found the center of something else. So Shift Q. Shift Q right there. Okay. Now we got to put some legs on this chair. So we're going to add another cylinder. But we're going to do something new. Before you click anywhere, you've got to make this change. So it's right now the cylinder has 32 faces. I want it to have 8. So I'm going to click in here 8. And then we're going to change the dimensions of this to maybe 3 by 3 by, see what, G to grab Y. I think that might work. So I'm going to do a quick snap on this as well. So Shift Q. Okay. I like that. So I'm going to go into bottom view here. Bottom. And I'm going to select this thing we just added. And I want to rotate this, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to do rotate Z 22.5 degrees, which is half of 45. I just want the flat edges of this to be here, like on an axis. So let's go ahead and apply the scale to that. So we're going to tab into face mode, and we're going to select this face, this face, this face, and this face. And we're going to go back into bottom view, and we're going to do Option E to extrude along normals, and something like that looks good. Now, while we're staying in face mode, I'm going to add some edge loops to each of these legs. So just holding your mouse over the leg and Command R, roll your mouse once to accept. Command R, roll your mouse once, click, and then click to accept. Command R, roll your mouse, click, and then click to accept. Command R, click, and click to accept. So now we're going to go into face mode. And we're going to select this face, this face, this face, and this face, and the adjoining bottom faces. And we're going to do G to grab Z and something like that. That looks good. Go into edge mode and we're going to select all these edges, all the top edges of each leg. We're going to bevel them just to give it a smooth finished look. It's kind of tedious, but it's going to look good when it's done. Oh, missed one over here. So we're going to do a Command B, and it's remembering the edge loops. Oh, we missed one here. Command B, and it's remembering the edge loops from the armrests. So, which is good. And that's enough edges for what we're trying to do here. So click to accept that. Go into object mode. That looks good. So now we're just going to add some wheels to this chair. So I'm going to add an, actually, you know what? I'll just use this. Shift D, rotate X 90 degrees. Actually, rotate Y 90 degrees. So G to grab Z, G to grab Y. So we're going to scale this on the X axis. And then we're going to just scale it in general. G to grab Z. It's looking a little big for this, so I'm going to scale it down just a little bit more. There, I like that. Okay, G to grab Y. So we are going to apply the scale to this. Actually, apply all transformations because we rotated it. So Shift D to duplicate. So we'll hide this. We're going to tab into vertex mode, go into X-ray mode up here, and we're going to select the bottom half of this. X, delete vertices. Go into edge mode, and we are going to select this edge, hold down Option. No, not that one. This edge, hold down Option, F to fill. Select this, hold down Option. Nope. This one, Option. Got to get a better angle. This, Option. F to fill. Go into object mode. We're going to add a modifier here, a solidifier. And that's way too much. So we'll make it like a, but you can see it's added to the inside of this thing. I want to add it to the outside. So where it says -1, we're just going to take away that minus and it adds to the outside, which is what I want. So go ahead and apply that and we'll bring back the original cylinder. So you can see this is kind of like the housing of the wheel. I just want to scale that up a little bit to create a gap there. So S to scale. Oh, see how it's moving the wrong way? We're going to go Object, Origin to Geometry. So scale. Something like that. That looks good. So we're going to select this. G to grab. So we're going to select this cylinder. So Shift D, R to rotate, Y axis 90 degrees. Actually, we're going to just do Object to Geometry as well. Rotate Y 90 degrees. Scale this down, way down. And we're going to scale it up on the Z axis. G to grab Y. G to grab Z. G to grab Y. So I just want it sitting in like that. So there is a wheel on our chair. So we'll select the pin. I'm going to call it the housing and the wheel. Do a Command J to join those all together. And then we just got to do a Shift D, rotate Z. So again, here we're going to have to do set the origin to geometry. rotate Z 180, G to grab Y, that there, and we'll select both of these, Shift D, rotate Z 90. So we're going to do same thing, object to geometry, rotate Z 90. That looks good. So let's bring the rest of our scene back. So /. So the desk, it's a little high. You know that? It's a little high. So again, I'm going to select the whole chair again, / to hide the scene. And I'm just going to shorten this. So this is 12. I'm going to make it like 10. And then I do a shift. No, actually, while I'm here, I'm going to select all of this and do a Command J to join those together. And then I do a Shift Q to quick snap this. And then this and this. I'm going to do a quick snap that in the, oh, there. So now we're going to bring back our scene. Oh, well, okay, we'll bring back our scene. Hold on. So we'll select this whole chair and G to grab Z. There, that's a good size chair for that desk. Okay, so now I'm going to just select all these again, go back /. Oh, oh. Oh, that's a little low, isn't it? So we'll select all of this. G to grab Z. There. So I want to join the frame, all of this together. So Command J. That looks good. And while we're here, we'll add some color to this chair. So we'll go in here. So I think I'll make the frame of the chair the same color as the desk. So down here to material, and I'm going to desk legs. That was that. And I will make the chair and the seat, I don't know, maybe a blue. Yeah. And I'm going to take the roughness right up because it's like a material. So I'm going to call this chair. And then we'll add it to the seat and the armrests. So that is a chair for our desk. So if you like what you're watching, give it a like. Think of subscribing. It really helps my channel. And hope you enjoyed this video. It's kind of a long one. But we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.